Alright, hi again everybody. Ian Harvey, massage therapist. You can find my license number here at the bottom, and if you want to skip directly to the self-massage, you can click up at the top somewhere. So I'm talking again about TMJ problems, which can include clicking, it can include just pain, swelling, it can even include headaches up here in the temporal region. And I've already done a video on this, which you can find a link to. I'll put it maybe right here. So I recommend watching that first. I talk about the anatomy of the jaw, and I also give a really great self-massage that has helped a lot of people, which I'm pretty proud of. But what if you have reached the limit of what that can do? Well, there's some other tricks. For instance, I haven't told you about another muscle that is highly involved in jaw function and jaw dysfunction, which I'll do shortly. But before you do that, there's something I would like to add to the previous tip. So again, this is myofascial release. It's very slow, it doesn't use lotion. Try to use clean hands because I don't want you to have a breakout or anything like that. It involves, instead of pressing in and trying to work out any trigger points or knots, we're working with the fascia, with the broad sheets of connective tissue that run through the muscles and through the skin. And it's a kind of way of doing a stretch without stretching. If you've ever tried to stretch your jaw, you know it just hurts and it doesn't help the clicking, it doesn't help any of this pain. But if we stretch the connective tissue manually with our hands, then we can get a lot done and reduce pain. So this is the same deal as last time. We are thinking up toward the ceiling, or toward the sky I guess, instead of in. So engage the tissue right by your jawline and back toward the back of your jaw, and applying 2 or 3 pounds of pressure. We are going upwards and a little bit inwards, but mostly we're thinking up. And so go very slowly with this. I'm not going to go as slowly as I did last time, because we've got another kind of lengthy exercise to do after this. So do still take your time, but this time we're going to be opening and closing the mandible. So be very gentle with this. You don't want your jaw to pop. You want to use a small range of motion. So like this. Just very slowly and very gently. And you'll feel a change when you open your jaw like that. The tension will change, the pain will change. You might feel increased pain. And the big difference is that this is engaging those muscles that we're working on, and it's stretching those muscles. So if you've reached the limit of what you were able to do just with the massage, this will up the ante a bit. And you might, as you open and close your jaw, find a place that really reminds you of your pain. Like it's starting to get pretty intense as I get up near my cheekbones, my zygomatic arches. Like right there, when I have my mouth open like this, and I've got TMJ problems myself, I feel quite a bit of tension. So instead of moving on, I'm going to hang out here. And just take some easy, deep breaths. And you may not find tension here, but just keep going until you find a good place. And you may not this first time. You're going to have to play with this. But as you continue breathing and maybe moving your jaw a little bit, you'll find that that tension changes. Connective tissue responds to deformation, which is what we're doing. We're changing the form of the connective tissue. It responds to heat, which we're creating internally in the muscles as well as externally through our fingers, and to time. And that's what you don't get in normal massage, is the connective tissue doesn't get the time to make the changes that it needs. And just while I've been talking to you, that tension has considerably lessened. So now I would like you to continue up and continue going all the way up through your temples and continue opening and closing the jaw just slightly, gently, until you get up into your hairline. But I'm going to assess what I've done already, and just by holding that point for those 30 seconds, I'm already feeling quite a bit more just freedom, and it's nice. And that's what the release is in myofascial release. It's that connective tissue suddenly changing shape a bit. People call it melting, and I think that's a pretty apt description. So we've worked on the jaw, and we've worked on the temporalis muscle up here, and now it's time to work on a related muscle. This is the SCM, and that's what you can call it. That's what you can call it with your friends. You don't need to say these words. It's also called the sternocleidomastoid. That refers to the sternum, it refers to the clavicle, and to the mastoid process right here. And it's a lump of bone behind your earlobe. You'll be able to feel it. It's kind of teardrop shaped, and if you press into it, you might feel it in your jaw. From a myofascial perspective, if we can reduce tension here, then this will also feel a little bit better. The fascia between this point and this point is very close. They are very related. So we're going to reduce tension here, not just by interacting with this mastoid process, but also by interacting with this sternocleidomastoid. So the sternocleidomastoid, you'll be able to see it when you turn your head far to either side. It's this ropey muscle that goes down the front. It's used for turning the head, and it's also used for bringing the head forward. You might be able to see it pop out on the sides here. So it's a big posture muscle. It's very involved. If you've got head forward posture, it's having to stay shorter than it would usually be, and so you're having more tension here. So really, we'd like to change posture. I've also got a posture video which I'd like you to look at. You can see the link here. But I'm going to come out with some more posture videos in the near future because this is huge. If you can change your posture, you'll change the tension in your jaw. I wish that I could convince you of this, but you're going to have to believe me. But until then, we can work directly on this SCM muscle. And to do that, again, we're not going to be digging, we're not going to be pressing into pressure points. We're going to be using either fingertips or the flats of your knuckles. I actually recommend the flats of your knuckles for this one. And engage with this mastoid process. If you can't feel that lump of bone, then just go somewhere near behind your ear right here and engage the tissue. This time we're going down. So think down toward the floor, don't think in. We're putting 2 or 3 pounds of pressure in, and the rest is bringing us down. And so I'm using the flats of my knuckles, and try to relax your neck as much as you can, and slowly and patiently drop toward the floor. We're going to be traveling the length of the sternocleidomastoid until it intersects right here. Here's one attachment site, and here's the other attachment site. It has 2 heads, but we don't need to be thinking about that. We need to be thinking about those broad sheets of tissue. So, taking your time, come down the SCM. And so, right away, you're going to feel this in your jaw. And that tells you how important this sternocleidomastoid is. And this can be your entire treatment. And make sure to wrap around toward the front as you come down. You don't want to stay on the side. There are a lot of lymph nodes over there and things that we don't want to compress. But if we come toward the front, kind of at an angle here, and not pressing too hard in, but making sure to be dragging downward, you're going to continue feeling it up into your skull. And come all the way down. Again, be very patient with this. This entire exercise with the jaw self-massage and with the SCM self-massage should take you about 10 minutes total. And I know that's a significant chunk of your day, but it's pretty nice to be out of jaw pain, and I've been out of jaw pain for a while now. And you're going to be getting down to these attachment sites here. And when you do, just slowly come all the way down. Feels good when you get right about here. And then you can release your pressure. Now feel the difference from side to side. It's big, it's interesting. It's interesting to have freedom on the front of your neck. Just as points of caution, if you feel a pulse right here, then just go a little bit laterally, a little bit to the side, and don't press directly on these lymph nodes on the side here. Just think skin. Think of pulling skin down. Repeat this on the other side, which I'll be doing after the video is over because I don't like being lopsided. Just be consistent with this and do it on a daily basis. Maybe right before bed or maybe right when you wake up, depending on when you feel the most pain. If you do it before bed, you might grind less. If you do it when you wake up, you might undo some of the damage that you've done if you've got nighttime bruxism. But in any case, let me know how this works. Tell me about it in the comments. Check out my blog. Consider maybe subscribing to my channel. And as always, be kind to yourselves and have a great day. Thank you.